I'm with Steven De Meester, who is the coordinator from University of Ghent of the Prosper project. We are at the end of the first year. You've been sitting over the first day of the meetings here at Vic, the university in Catalonia. What are the 2 or 3 things that you've found the project has made most progress upon?
Well, first of all, glad to be in Vic, and especially happy to see how much progress we already made over the first year. So I want to highlight a few points. The first point was, and that's always difficult in an EU project, all samples we have 18 partners, so that's not easy. All samples, both virgin samples and reference samples, as well as waste samples, were shipped along the partners. For me, that was a little bit of risk in the beginning of the project, but we managed that risk due to the big expertise of many of the partners, and a lot of samples were shipped among the partners, which allowed good progress over the first year. So although not really a deliverable, I think it's an important progress that we did. But then looking to the real content progress, I think we were able to make near databases for bioplastics. So because all the different partners were able to send all these different types of bioplastics, the starchy blends, PLA, etc. So different blends and products were shipped. This allowed NTCP to train their database and in the end program a bioplastic sorting plant. So for me, big achievement number 1 is of course shipping all the samples, but then also to train the NIR program. Based on this trained program, actually, and that's maybe a linked output, we were able to sort bioplastics from mixed, dirty, real waste, and our purities achieved up to higher than 95%. So in the same order of magnitude than regular polymers. So for me, this is a very important achievement that we got this bioplastic over 90% pure, especially the rigids, out of mixed waste. That's an important achievement. Another important achievement, we were able to show, and that's important for many stakeholders, that these bioplastics do not interfere with the NIR program of regular polymers, also not PET. So the spectra are sufficiently different compared to PET. So I think the myth that bioplastic would confuse or would cause problem in regular bales of plastic, I don't think it's true, because the similarity analysis show that there's sufficient difference between all the spectra to differentiate among them. So there is little problem with contaminating the other plastic bales, at least not more than conventional polymers
co-contaminating each other.
Co-contaminating each other. So in that, in essence, indeed, thanks for helping out here. The biopolymers behave like all the other polymers in a sorting plant, and I think we can confidently say that. Another major achievement in the project is that actually even after the sorting, which we really did at scale, so at hundreds of kilos and tons scale already in the first year of the project, we were able to get out this bioplastic at the mentioned purity, and we were able to wash them and make from trays again. So we demonstrated with our project already in the first year that we are able to closed loop mechanically recycle PLA trays, it was in this case, but bioplastics. So these are important achievements. On top of this, actually, we already did economic calculations. And actually, we have shown in these economic calculations that indeed the PLA, we focused in this economic calculations on PLA. We have shown that PLA sorting at the current market penetration of plastics, of bioplastics, is relatively expensive. But at the market penetration of 2 or 3% of these biopolymers, we are able to get a similar cost of sorting, around 200 euros per ton for bioplastics compared to regular plastics. Because indeed it's an argument that it's way too expensive to sort bioplastics. But of course this is a matter of scale, and at 2 or 3% of market penetration we come in the order of magnitude of regular polymers, and this is also for me an important discussion that we should have together with PRO organizations, how to deal with polymers that want to enter a market and at a certain moment have a smaller market penetration, but in some way need to be able to grow until a scale that is efficient to sort them.
You're having problems with films.
That is true. Of course, we have to be aware that films are always the most difficult fraction in plastic sorting. And so this is not only for bioplastic, but this is also the case for regular plastic, where closed or more synthetic polymers, that closed loop recycling of film flexible packaging is complicated always, because there's a lot more diversity in there. Of course, we see that the bioplastics bio-based films, that they have their problems on their own. Of course, they are sometimes blends, and what we have seen, they are sometimes a bit more sticky. So the purity of these film bales is lower compared to the rigid ones. So for sure, this should be a topic in the next year of our project.
Thank you very much.